The Rainwater Killer, Episode 9, a Haunted Library exclusive series. Hello, Miss Nobles? Hey, how you doing? This is Detective Allen. Yeah, how you been holding up? Good deal. I'm so glad to hear that. Hey, we have a possible break in the case for the person who's responsible for your husband's death. I wanted to give you a call. It's nothing major. It's just a person of interest. It's just somebody we're looking at. It's nothing to get excited for. Just something to go off of at the moment. I know when I went to Oklahoma to visit, you expressed that you only seen this man's eyes just briefly when he stepped out of the tree line there. Now, I'm going to provide you, and I'm going to send you over a picture. I'm going to provide you an image of a male, and I want you to zone in on the eyes, because I understand you didn't really get a chance to see much else because of the rain mask. I want you to zone in on the eyes and tell me if these eyes match what you might have saw that day. And take your time, please. If they do match, it's not going to be a conviction. It's just going to, put a little bit of more oomph possibly into who I'm looking at here. So I'm going to send you over a picture of this man from my cell, and I want you to zoom in on the eyes. That's all I want you to look at. This is top secret. Please do not share this image with anybody. And after you're done looking at it, please delete it. Okay. Yeah, I want you to be absolutely sure. If there's any doubt, then there's doubt. Please, yes. Just between you and me. I'm going to send it over now, okay? Take your time. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. I'd called Beth Nobles because she was the only living person we had that had survived an attack from the Rainwater Killer. Then I sent her Patrick Sullivan's driver's license photo that I had pulled from our database after running his tags. She had studied the image for about 10 minutes before returning my call. She expressed that the eyes did not appear to be that of the eyes of her attacker. So, as quick as I thought I had somebody, his hopes were dashing just like that. But I felt this was subjective, however, considering she had only gotten one close look at this guy as he stepped out of the tree line to face her, shortly after silently disposing of her husband. The rest of the time had been spent running from her assailant as the sun set. This wasn't the best way of identifying a suspect anyhow, considering the killer had his face covered. But it's all I had, and I thought it would be worth a shot. Regardless, I decided to keep a low-key watch on Mr. Sullivan's house and his whereabouts. Our first deposit sketched, based on Beth Noble's eyewitness account, was posted today all over town. There wasn't much to go on aside from a man wearing a full-headed rain mask. The press conference had been excruciating. Though I had only spoke for 15 minutes, it was the interviews after that had wore me out. I had to be careful what I said so not to leak any information that we deemed private. I looked out the window of my office and realized how much I had come to like this crazy town. It was still very alien to me, but the people here had accepted me. I don't quite dress like your typical New Yorker. I definitely do not speak like them, and I hardly act like them. Posters of my name and pictures have been passed around all over town after the press conference. It's like I'm a hero here, yet I haven't solved a damn thing yet. When I'm on the street, a lot of people stop and talk to me, already recognizing me. And I don't mind the recognition, but it's all for nothing if my man is not brought to justice. Lost in my trance as I stared at the station lawn and the city buildings beyond, Detective Larson came in, scaring the shit out of me. I snapped out of it and sat up straight, stretching. Larson took a seat in front of my desk. "Negative, huh?" he said, crossing his legs. "Yeah, man. Doesn't matter too much anyhow. We can't arrest the man on suspicion of matching eyes." "True," nodded Larson. "But it'd be a hell of a start." "Yeah, I agree. Let's just keep our eyes on him anyhow. I'd like to get into that car of his, see if that fiber matches anything in there. Better yet, his house. That he wouldn't let me inside of. Let's hire a private detective. Make him do our dirty work. Some of those guys will go above and beyond for the right price." I thought about the idea, and I liked it. And it would alleviate time spent checking him out. It wasn't ordinary for police to hire a PI, but in this situation, where my attention was needed elsewhere, it made perfect sense. I like that idea, Larson. I'm pretty sure Lutz won't care. Dig us up a good one. I'll bring him up to date on the case." "Will do, Chief. Is that your daughter?" He looked at the picture on my desk of Lori. "Sure is," I smiled. "Isn't she beautiful?" "She definitely is. Looks just like you." "Well, I'm flattered." "Don't be. You're not my type, Frank." "Well, the feeling's mutual, man. I had a nightmare the other night." "Yeah?" I said. "My life is a current nightmare." Larson's eyes became transfixed as his face went expressionless. His voice almost went monotone. "I guess carrying that head out messed with my own head. No pun intended. I dreamt that the Rainwater Killer came up in here and just blasted us all, AK-47 style. The place was a bloody mess. Then I woke. I don't know. It's just been messing with me." "Man, you gotta get some rest. Get some rest, my man. We're all tired. We're all losing sleep over this guy. We can't apprehend him or even begin to track this guy down if we're exhausted." "Sounds good, Chief. I'll get on that PI for us, then I'll get some sleep." "You do that. Hey, make sure he has at least 5 years experience and preferably some working with police." Larson left, closing the office door behind him. I thought about his nightmare and how, perhaps 20 years ago, that could have been conceivable, considering stations back then didn't have much security. Now the guy wouldn't get past the front door. I glanced back out the window. It was cracked, allowing a cool breeze to come through. My thoughts went back to the severed head of Shane Wallace. I hadn't ate since seeing that. I hadn't had an appetite. I thought of how much pressure was suddenly on my back, with me in charge of the case. The whole state of impatient New Yorkers. They were glorifying me now, but what if I didn't catch this guy in 6 months, and he kept killing? I wasn't concerned with popularity. I just wanted to catch this guy. Somewhere, out there, amongst my beautiful view, was a man not only cunning but ruthless, and very disturbed. It had been 2 weeks since he'd killed last. Then it dawned on me, it hadn't rained a single drop in 2 weeks. Just as soon as that thought left my head, a rain shower began to fall. Disgusted, I shook my head, closed the door and pulled the blinds, and went to the hotel for the night, trying not to think what may happen later this evening to some unsuspecting person.